Hi everybody, I just wanted to put out this little disclaimer at the beginning of this next video. The demonstration in the following video is merely for educational purposes only, and only to be used on a firearm that you are finished cleaning, that you are sure has no ammunition anywhere in it, near it, around it. I would not recommend doing this procedure at all with any live ammunition in the firearm. It is strictly something that I do myself after I'm done cleaning a firearm and I wish to store it without the firing pin being under tension. So please do not try this with live rounds in your pistol. If you do, that is totally on you, and that is just really, just don't do it. Okay, thanks. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope it helps you out. Hi everybody, welcome to John's Firearms 705. Today I wanted to do a little video about decocking a striker fire pistol. Now, I've looked around and everyone says you cannot decock a striker fire, you have to dry fire it, hence the reason why it's all that much more important to make sure that it is clear. So now, that being said, I have here a Girsan MC28 pistol, V2 I believe this one is. As you can see, it's taken apart. We have the slide out here. Got the barrel, the recoil spring. We also have a magazine handy, which you can see the blue follower. It is currently empty. And also have 5 of these snap cap dummy rounds. Okay, so there is no live ammunition. The firearm is definitely clear, as it is clearly apart. Now, before we get going, another thing I wanted to do was have a quick little chat about these little speed loaders. When I first got it, I had no clue how to use this thing. You know, I'm trying to load up. Now, keeping in mind, these are not live rounds, they are dummy rounds. You know what, you get the first one in, no problem. And then the second one, you're trying to balance a round on round to push down and get it in. And, well, it's just kind of a pain. So I actually figured out how to use this. They're pretty simple. Just slide it on. It only goes on one way. Push it down. Put in your first round. Just as far as it goes. It doesn't go very far. And as you're lifting up the speed loader, use your thumb to kind of push the round in the rest of the way. Just like that. Grab your next one. So much faster than without the speed loader. So there we go. So we'll set that aside, keeping in mind they're dummy rounds, but we are going to be using this for the demonstration on the decocking of the striker fire. So we'll set this aside for now. We'll come back to that. So first thing I want to talk about is what happens with the striker fire. Now, on this particular model, and it might be the similar on the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0, which this firearm is heavily borrowed design features from. So you can see in here, this here is our firing pin. Comes back, right? And then you see this little silver plate right up in here. What that does is it has to be depressed in for the firing pin to travel the rest of the distance forward to come out and, you know, set off the bullet. So what happens when you rack the slide back on this particular firearm, the firing pin has this little part that drops down, and as it goes backwards, it catches. See this little flat part in the middle? You'll see it kind of drop down there, right there where it drops down. But when you go backwards, it gets trapped in behind here. And also what happens when you pull the trigger on this one, you see this little part here move. What that does, it engages that little silver part, which will allow you, like I said, your firing pin to go all the way and engage your projectile. So now, what I've discovered a way to do is when it's all set up, it's all put back together and it's fully cocked, but you want to decock it to put it away. I found a way to move it just enough where you can pull the trigger and it'll release the firing pin from the back just up to this silver block. It will not release the block, the firing pin will not go forward. So now, that being all said, I'll stick it all back together and I'll show you what I mean. For those of you that aren't sure how to put one of these together or take it apart, I'm sure you can find a video on the internet. I also have one on this particular firearm. They're pretty basic. Okay, there, so we got our slide together. I'm going to stick it back on the frame. Lock it down. So this firearm is back together. Take a look in there. Clearly this firearm is unloaded. Now, as you've seen, I racked it, put it back together, and in the back of this one, see the little red button there? That means it's charged and it's cocked and it's ready to go. Now this particular firearm also has a little viewing. You can see if there's a round in there. So now the gun is cocked. We want to decock it. What do? We can't just pull the trigger. We can if we want to dry fire it, and that's what I used to do. But what I found, simply pull the slide backwards, right there. That's all you need, just a little bit till you feel that resistance. Come forward just a little bit from there. Pull your trigger. Did you hear that click? It released the tension. There we go. So what I'll do now, I'll take our magazine with the dummy rounds, put it in there, chamber the round. You heard it hit the dummy round. Okay, now we chambered another one. We'll decock it, go back to the resistance, come forward, pull our trigger. We are decocked. So now I'll drop my magazine out, get that dummy round out of there, lock it open, just double check again. Even though they were dummy rounds, we're still going to make sure it's safe. We'll put that aside. Yeah, so there you go, guys. That's my short little video on how to decock a striker fire pistol. At least this one, the Girsan. Like I say, it may also work on the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0, and also my little tips and tricks on how to use that speed loader. Okay, guys, if you like this video, subscribe, hit the like button. As always, have fun. Peace out. Be safe. See you at the range.